This Roblox player scammed his only friend for 10 Robux. 10, not 10,000, 10. A friendship built over hundreds of hours, destroyed for the price of nothing. This is the story of Noel and how one trade changed everything. Noel lived with his grandmother in a small apartment above a laundromat. His mom had moved to another city for work when he was 7. She called every Sunday, always promising she would visit soon. She never did. His dad was not in the picture. Grandma Rosa did her best. She cooked dinner every night, helped him with homework even though she barely understood English, and always made sure his school uniform was clean. But Rosa went to bed early. By 8 o'clock, the apartment was silent. Noel was the quiet kid at school. Not shy exactly, just invisible. He sat in the middle row, never raised his hand, never got in trouble. The kind of kid teachers forget to call on. During lunch, he ate alone at the end of a long table, watching other groups laugh and throw food at each other. He once tried to sit with a group of boys from his class. They looked at him, then at each other, and one of them said, "This seat's taken." It wasn't. After school, Noel walked straight home, dropped his backpack by the door, and sat at the old family computer in the corner of the living room. The screen flickered sometimes, and the fan made a grinding noise, but it ran Roblox. And Roblox was all Noel needed. He played every single day, mostly alone. He would wander through servers in Brookhaven, just walking around, watching other players interact in their groups. Sometimes he would stand near a house where a group of friends was role-playing a family, just close enough to hear them laugh. He never joined. He was afraid they would tell him to leave. Noel's avatar was a default character. No special hair, no accessories, no limited items. Just the basic gray shirt and blue pants. He had 0 Robux. Grandma Rosa could barely pay rent. Asking her for game money felt wrong. So Noel played with what he had and pretended it didn't matter. But every time someone in a server flexed a rare item or a fancy outfit, he felt a small sting in his chest. Not jealousy exactly, more like a reminder that even in a virtual world, he was still at the bottom. One afternoon, Noel was sitting in an empty Brookhaven house, the one near the gas station that nobody ever used. He was just sitting there, doing nothing, when a message appeared in the chat. "Hey, why are you sitting alone?" The username was marcoplays_99. Noel stared at the screen. Nobody ever messaged him first. He typed back slowly. "Just hanging out." Marco walked his avatar into the house and sat on the couch next to Noel. "Cool, me too. Wanna play something?" That was it. No complicated introduction, no requirements, just an invitation. They started playing together that same evening. First Brookhaven, then Tower of Hell, then Blox Fruits. Marco was loud in the chat, always cracking jokes, always hyping Noel up. "Bro, you're actually cracked at this," he would type after Noel cleared a difficult obby. Nobody had ever called Noel good at anything. They exchanged Discord usernames that night. Their first voice call lasted 3 hours. Marco lived 2 time zones away. He was also 13, also lived with a single family member, in his case an older sister who worked nights at a warehouse. They had everything in common. Both felt invisible at school. Both used Roblox as their escape. Both were tired of being alone. Within a week, they had a routine. Every day after school, they would hop on Discord, join a Roblox server, and play until one of them had to sleep. They made up challenges for each other, dared each other to do dumb things in Brookhaven, built entire bases in games nobody else played. Marco gave Noel his first ever gift in Roblox, a small in-game item he had earned himself. It wasn't worth much, but Noel kept it on his avatar for weeks. They talked about everything. School problems, family problems, dreams. Marco wanted to become a game developer someday. Noel wanted to move to the city where his mom lived. They both knew these were just words, but saying them out loud to someone who actually listened made the words feel possible. For the first time in his life, Noel had a best friend. Not a school acquaintance, not a random online player. A real friend who knew his voice, his fears, his daily routine. Someone who noticed when he was quiet and asked, "Hey, you good?" Someone who actually waited for the answer. Noel had no idea that in less than 2 weeks, this person, the only person who made him feel like he existed, would betray him over an amount so small it wouldn't even buy a virtual hat. Marco discovered a new game. It was one of those trading games where you collect items, hatch eggs, and trade pets with other players. He was obsessed. Every conversation became about which pets were rare, which ones were rising in value, and which trades were scams. Noel wasn't that interested at first, but he joined because Marco was there. They played together for days. Marco was surprisingly good at trading. He built up a small collection of decent pets. Noel, starting from scratch with no Robux to boost his progress, lagged behind. His best item was a common pet that nobody wanted. It didn't bother him much. He was there for Marco, not for the items. But then, something shifted. Marco started talking about a specific pet, a golden tiger with animated flames around its body. It was considered mid-tier by experienced players, but to Marco, it was everything. He had been trying to trade up to it for over a week. He researched values on forums, he watched YouTube videos about trading strategies, he stayed up past midnight grinding. One evening, Marco messaged Noel with an unusual request. "Bro, I need a favor. I found a guy who will sell me the golden tiger, but he wants 10 Robux as part of the deal. Can you send me 10 Robux through a game pass? I'll pay you back, I promise." Noel paused. 10 Robux. He didn't have 10 Robux. He had never had Robux in his life. But that week, Grandma Rosa had given him a $5 bill for helping carry groceries. He had been saving it, not for anything specific, just because having $5 felt like having a safety net. He could buy a small Roblox gift card with it. It would give him enough. He thought about it. Marco was his best friend, his only friend. 10 Robux was nothing. If the situation were reversed, Marco would do it without hesitation. Noel walked to the corner store the next day, bought the cheapest Roblox card they had, redeemed it, and sent Marco 10 Robux through a game pass. Marco sent back a string of excited emojis. "Bro, you're the GOAT. I'll get you back, I swear." Noel smiled at the screen. He felt good. He felt useful. He had no way of knowing that those 10 Robux, earned from his grandmother's grocery money, would be the last thing he ever gave his best friend. The next day, Marco didn't log on. Noel waited on Discord for 2 hours. Marco's status stayed gray, offline. He sent a message. "Hey bro, you coming on today?" No reply. He figured maybe Marco was busy. Maybe his sister needed help. Maybe his internet went down. It happened before. He played alone that night, which he hadn't done in weeks. The servers felt different without Marco. Bigger, emptier. He caught himself standing in that same Brookhaven house near the gas station, sitting on the same couch where they first met. Just sitting there, waiting. Day 2, nothing. No messages, no activity. Noel checked Marco's Roblox profile. Last online, yesterday. So his internet was fine. He just wasn't responding. Day 3. Noel sent another message. "Hey, did I do something wrong? Just let me know." The message was delivered. Read. No response. By the 4th day, Noel started replaying every conversation in his head. Did he say something offensive? Did he accidentally insult Marco's items? Was he too needy? Too clingy? He couldn't find anything. Everything had been normal. Everything had been fine. On the 5th day, Noel decided to search Marco's username on Roblox. He found him. Marco was online, playing the same trading game. Noel joined the server. He saw Marco's avatar standing in the trading plaza, chatting with other players, laughing in the server chat. He wasn't sick. He wasn't offline. He was right there, playing, happy, as if Noel had never existed. Noel typed in the chat, "Marco?" Marco's avatar turned toward him. There was a pause. Then Marco typed back, "Who are you?" Noel's hands went cold. He typed again, "It's Noel, your friend. What happened?" Marco replied, "Oh, yeah, sorry bro. I'm playing with other people now. You can go." You can go. 3 words. Noel stared at them until his screen blurred. He didn't cry. He didn't type anything back. He just logged out, closed the laptop, and sat in the dark living room while the laundromat machines hummed below. A week later, Noel logged into Roblox one last time. He wasn't sure why. Maybe he was hoping to see a message from Marco. There was none. He opened the trading game out of habit and checked his inventory. That's when he noticed something. The small item Marco had given him as a gift, the first gift anyone had ever given him in a game, was gone. Traded away. But Noel hadn't traded it. He would never trade it. He scrolled through his trade history. There it was. On the same day Marco went silent, Marco had initiated a trade through a linked offer system, a feature that allowed pending trades between friends to auto-complete. Marco had set it up before going dark. He had traded Noel's gift item, the only thing of value Noel had, for a common junk pet on a throwaway account. Marco hadn't just ghosted him, he had taken the 10 Robux. He had taken back the gift. And he had done it on the same day. Planned and deliberate, using Noel's trust to clean out the only valuable thing he owned. 10 Robux. 1 gift item. That was the price of their entire friendship. That was the price of Noel. But the worst part of this story isn't the scam. The worst part is what happened to Noel after he closed that laptop. Because losing 10 Robux is nothing. Losing your only proof that someone cared about you? That's everything. Noel didn't play Roblox for a long time after that. Grandma Rosa noticed. She asked him one evening why the computer was off. He told her he was bored of the game. She didn't push it. She just put a plate of food in front of him and sat next to him in silence. At school, nothing changed. He was still invisible, still sat in the middle row, still ate alone. But now the silence felt heavier, because he knew what it was like to have it filled. He knew what it was like to hear someone say, "Hey, you good?" and actually mean it. And now he knew what it was like to lose that. He never heard from Marco again. He checked once, months later. Marco's account was active, new avatar, expensive items, a long friends list. Noel's name wasn't on it. Noel eventually came back to Roblox. He made a new account, a fresh start, but he kept his avatar as a default character. No items, no accessories. And when someone in a server would message him, "Hey, why are you sitting alone?" he would stare at the screen for a long time before typing back. Sometimes he didn't type back at all. The story of Noel was shared on an internet forum. Whether it's entirely true, partly true, or a reflection of thousands of similar stories, that's for you to decide. Would you have forgiven Marco? Or would 10 Robux be enough to close that door forever? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll heart the most honest ones. Hey, thanks for staying until the end. Stories like Noel's are why I make these videos. If this one hit you, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, and check out my last video right here. It's another story you probably haven't heard. And trust me, the ending will stay with you. See you there!